I grew up at one point in my life. I grew up in one point in my life afraid to take risks. Yeah, all the talent in the world, all the talent in the world. But and this was just one brief. It was very brief, but it was very this brief point in my life. It was very impactful. It definitely you know impacted my life. But at the same time, the story continues. You know what I'm saying? I learned from it. I learned from it. But still to this day, I look back at it. I look back at it. I don't want to say I don't live with regrets. I don't believe in that. Because once again, like what I'm explaining right now, everything happened for a reason. You know what I'm saying? Everything happened for a reason. But I'm going to continue on what I was saying. Yeah, this brief point in my life, when I was younger, I was afraid to take risks. Got the talent right in my hands. You know what I'm saying? Even others see it. And that's a major part of this story that I'm talking about. Others will see it, right? Others will see it, and they're trying to put out your shine. They're trying to dim your light, whether it's directly or indirectly. Most times indirectly, because nobody want to be known as a hater, right? Nobody want to be known as a negative Nancy or, a sour puss or whatever the fuck you want to call it. A hater. I'm just keep it at that. But yeah, I'm young. I'm a teenager, and one wrong move can cost me my whole life. One wrong move can cost me my whole life. Like a lot of people like to say that you don't know who you are or whatever the fuck, or you don't get the groove of things until you in your 20s, 25 or some shit like that, and by 30 you know you got the ball rolling. I can't agree with that all the way. I can't agree with that all the way, especially in the society that we live in. I always tell people like my generation was the beginning of this social media slash from a safe place as society. You know, follow me. But yeah, I'm gonna get back on that. But afraid to take risks, man. Like I was afraid to fail. Afraid to have people laugh at me, see me and fail. You know what I mean? See me and fall. And it happened, like that. It happened like that. Like one minute I'm maneuvering through life, exerting my talents with no, I guess the word is conviction on myself. As a child, you know what I mean. You're not walking around with these biases and these things that funnel you down. To me, it's like destruction, shit that hinders you, limits you. As a child, you're so innocent, even your dreams are innocent. Like, it's like, I want to be a fireman, you know. Another kid will say, I want to be the president. Yeah, they might not know the whole ins and outs and all that, but that's the most authentic response you'll ever get on this earth. That's the most authentic response you'll ever get on this earth. When you ask a kindergartner, you know, or a child, you know, what they want to be when they grow up. You know, their imagination is through the roof, you know. Nothing's stopping them. Can't nobody tell them they not going to do this. Can't nobody tell them they not, you know, doing it. Because they already, you know, got their toys and imaginative, you know. They watch shows and pick up the lingo and all that, you know what I'm saying? People spend their whole life trying to get back to that innocence, get back to that authenticity, you know, back to that original setting, that default setting. Most don't even get back to it because they get so far removed from that. But back to my story, boom, I'm young, I'm afraid to take risks, you know. This particular part of it is about playing ball, you know. Like, boom, how the shit goes is I go to tryouts, right? Mind you, I play with the cats. Everybody that's trying out, we all play on the outside at the rec center or whatever, at the gyms and shit like that. We all play at the parks, you know what I'm saying? And so everybody know everybody, you know what I'm saying? Everybody know everybody. But I show up to the tryout. I go to the tryouts, you know what I'm saying? And this is my first time ever, you know, other than playing for like the Boys and Girls Club, you know, the rec center and shit. You know, this is my first time actually signing up to be a part of, you know, the school organization thing, you know, where you come out at the pep rallies and all that, you know what I'm saying? So I go to the tryouts and boom, I'm doing well, you know, and I expect that. Others expect that. Basically, if they see me fail, they like, damn, you know. And I had homeboys that were the same way, you know, we sharpen each other's iron, you know, on the outs, like I keep saying, like we just grew up doing that. Also, what comes with that, though, and this is where I get to the part where I became afraid to take risks. Boom, I do the tryout, boom. Fast forward, I get, you know, chosen. You know, I make the team, and then I get, what they say, cold feet. Boom, I do a couple scrimmages. I think the very first scrimmage that I had, and I'm a point guard naturally, the very first scrimmage that I had, I got benched. I got benched because I didn't pass the ball. I got benched because I didn't run the play. I just did my own thing, 1-on-5. Like we do on the park, like we do at the gym. Mind you, like I keep saying, like, boom, I already know who these different variables is. I know everybody that's on this damn. Even if they been playing in the school organization, I know how this nigga play, period. And then, boom, just like anybody else can attest, even the other schools, other cats from other schools and shit. Like, who gonna be a problem when they step on the court. And who's not gonna be a problem. So anyway, boom, I get benched. And yeah, I was heated. Man. I was heated. Yeah, I was mad as fuck. On a side note, well, let me say this and then I'll say the side note. Yeah, I got heated, and boom, I'm jacking up shots and shit. I'm scoring, I'm missing, I'm bricking and shit. I'm scoring, I'm bricking. It's a mixture of both. Crossing niggas, boom, getting my shit ripped. Like this is just how the game go. Get my shit thrown, blocked, boom, come back, get them back. This is just how the game go. But I get benched, and it really took a lot out of me because I'm like, boom, I'm like, man, nigga, I'm the best motherfucker on the court. None of these niggas can hold me. That's the mindset. And I'm looking at the coach like that. Like, to be exact, I picked up one of the water bottles and threw it at the nigga, at the coach. Boom. Get kicked off the squad right there. That was a quick story, huh? Get kicked off the squad right there. You know what I'm saying? And that was ninth grade, freshman. Ninth, 10th grade, yeah, there you go. Cause I remember there was the younger group too. Yeah, I wasn't a freshman. I was able to play JV and varsity. Right, there you go. That's what, yeah. Ninth grade, boom, I skipped ninth grade. I didn't try out for that. But once again, I knew them too, of course. Like, we know all the way down to the 7th, 8th graders who be playing ball. We all play ball at the parks and gyms and shit. That's how we grow up. We know the niggas that's out of school. The motherfuckers that are like in their 20s and shit. We playing ball with them too. 30s, and you know what I mean? Boom, get kicked off the squad. And like I was saying on the side note, I look back and when I say I'm just jacking up shots and shit, boom, there's a mixture of making and missing. I look at the scrutiny, that time period. People always talked about Iverson, how he'll jack up fucking 40 shots or, X amount of shots, and, like, people would have a problem with that. These is motherfuckers that played or didn't play, but the bottom line is they're not him. That's what my point is. They're from a sideline speaking, saying what's wrong with what he did. And no, I'm not saying I'm an Iverson. That's a big part of this live right here. That's a big part of this live right here. I don't compare myself to nobody. Yeah, we you grow up like, boom, my favorite player of all time is Kobe. You know what I'm saying? It's Kobe. You know what I'm saying? I'm a Kobe kid. I grew up, watching Kobe. Jordan, Iverson, all them too. T-Mac, all them too. But my favorite player, the player that I would watch, is Kobe. And what I'm saying is yeah, we might take, boom, the fadeaway. I mean, as you can see, people were saying Kobe's doing Jordan's fadeaway, which he grew up watching MJ, and other ones that did the fadeaway, Grant Hill and them. You know what I'm saying? Jamal Mashburn, shit like that. Like, but that's different. You know what I mean? That's why I say that's different. Like you like Frankenstein in it. You know what I'm saying? You Frankenstein in it. Like, and you developing your own nuance. You developing your own craft. You see what I'm saying? Like you shoot like no one else. You dribble. Your crossover, your hezzy, everything is like no one else. It just organically morphs into that, and that's what everything in life. Now, when I say I was afraid to take risks, like that getting kicked off the squad, man, that shit really bothered me. Mind you, I'm telling you, I'm jacking up shots. I'm not even running the fucking play. I'm not even passing the rock. And we won, but I can't say that. I can't say that it was. I mean, I contributed in the beginning. Like, 'cause I think I got benched the first quarter. Oh, 'cause I ain't running the damn play. I'm doing my own thing. But that hindered me, that point, man. Those points hindered me. I also ran track that year. Yeah, I also ran track. And I'm pretty fast, man. When it comes to distance, that ain't my thing. That ain't my leg. But with track, with track, I'm pretty fast. And when I ran track, boom, I think somebody didn't show up or something, because I normally would do either the 100, the 200, you know what I mean? I'll go all the way up to the 4x1, you know what I'm saying? Shit like that. 4x2, shit like that. But somebody didn't show up, and I think it was a 400, yeah, a one time around the joint. It was a one time around the joint, and like I just said at the top of it, boom, I'm speed, I'm speed, not distance. You know what I'm saying? So I get in the 400, and boom, we break out, and I'm dusting off top, first corner, second corner. Like I'm out the gate, I'm out the blocks, fucking, gone, and the whole crowd is already, people are already in the crowd. Like, once again, just like basketball, we all know each other, we all know each other, and I don't even like that popular word and all that shit. I've never liked people to know me and shit. Like, I would have people walk up and say they know me, but I don't even know them, but they heard of me, and I used to hate that type of shit, because I'm not that type of being. If anything, I'm just doing me. Like, and when you do you often stick out in a world like this, because, the society is bred to be fanboys and fangirls, man. The society is bred to be, bleacher riders, sideline pointers, you know what I'm saying? Spectators. Safe place ass niggas. Take no risk. It's deep to me. To me, it's pretty. Because it doesn't, it's not, of course, it doesn't just just apply to sports. It just doesn't just apply to sports. You know, or I forgot the last one, handout ass niggas. You know, they got their hand out once the work is done, once job is done. Kobe used to say, "Job not done, job not finished, job finished." Nah, others just celebrating and shit though. See what I mean? Like I just, you take from things like that. Like I ain't have a father with that type of jewel to put in my ear. So you know what I'm saying? Like I'm part of the generation where, yeah, we going outside. We outside all the fuck day, all day. I'm running from all over the town as well. You know, you get beat up, you beat somebody up, you fall off your bike. We learn all this shit. We learn all this shit. Oh man. And but yeah, like I was saying, the job not done yet, and you know they stand and wait for the job to get done. But anyway, boom, I go around the third corner, and that's when the gas start running out. That's when the gas start running out. So you know about the track, boom, after you get around the third corner, you coming up to the finish line, the final stretch, that final 100. Boom, gas start running out. By like the 50, a nigga get a Charlie horse. Mind you, at this point in my life, I'm not even drinking water heavy either. Instead of water, I'm drinking 2 liters and shit. Eating Skittles before I run. Stupid shit. It was like that in basketball too. I walk on the court eating Skittles and shit, and then even fast forward in my life, I walk on the court smoking a black, put it out, and then play. Like there's a lot of niggas that do this shit. That's just their formula, and they know that they don't even know that it's their formula. That's just who they are. You walk up smoking a blunt, or what have you. Let me get to it. Like you remember that nigga. You'll remember him on the court or the field or whatever. No matter even if he fails and shit, this nigga still gonna do what he do. But yeah, I fell. Boom, got a cramp. Charlie horse, you know what I'm saying? Fell. Whole crowd went, oh, oh. Boom, fast forward, boom, I think I had a girlfriend, boom, she thought it was some funny shit. She consoled me, laughed at me. My niggas, they laughed, you know what I'm saying? Which, when you say my niggas, it's like, oh, okay. Which, at the same time, we all rank on each other, we Jones on each other, we grow up doing that. That's a part of the culture. That's not the part that I'm talking about. I always talk about like it's cool to rank on each other. It's just you gotta double back, you gotta bang back, and okay, what kind of constructive shit are you doing for each other? To me, that's funny as hell to not do the other side of that. It's kind of like when motherfuckers talk about doing shit in the street. They always leave out the long nights. You know what I mean? The nobody's picking up. You know what I'm saying? You get jammed up. You steady playing Tom and Jerry with the police. They don't talk about that type of the side of it. They don't never fucking talk about the side of that side of it. You lose everything. Your nigga try to rob you. It could be a lot of variables. You get backdoored by some bitch, all kind of shit. People are seeing this now, because people be passing the game on the internet. In a lot of ways, that hinders people because it's like you're giving them the you know what I'm saying, the fine print. You're giving them the fine print. It helps them when it only helps them to deter, like say the youth. You know what I'm saying? I just think that's important. Like, don't be leaving out details in the fucking shit. Like, let them know, like, hey man, hell no, it ain't just about riding on 28s and shit. Hell no, it ain't just, you know what I mean, getting all these bitches or whatever the fuck. Fuck no. Like, talk about the side where you sitting on the pack. Talk about the side where it's a drought. Talk about the side where you need this for rent money. Talk about that side. Talk about the side where this nigga won't sell to you no more. Talk about like real shit. Talk about the side where the police is on you. You hot. You hot. While you riding around in your something, you hot. Talk about that. Them other niggas is wanting to come take your shit. Talk about that. I mean, they talk about these things and on some angle like they just in shootouts and they take one, they take two, like, and that part of it is like, man, like, or talk about, look, here's a major one. Talk about how you were scared. Talk about how you were scared. Talk about how it wasn't you. Talk about how it wasn't you, or the other niggas that you got around you day in and day out. It ain't them either. Talk about that. And you realize it once what? When shit hit the fan. You on the island. Like I said, boom, ain't nobody to call. They all isolated you. You take this shit on the chin, This happens every day. This happens all the time. Motherfuckers get jammed up, what they call RICO or whatever. But I'm gonna go lower level, just little common man shit. They ain't even reached that yet. The young boy didn't even reach that yet. Like, he's just doing just common man shit, little petty bullshit. He ain't really moving nothing. He ain't, you know what I mean? Like. But they think they are. Chest poked out, riding on something, got the new somethings on their feet, all that. Like, it's got a bad bitch, like, you know what I mean? Smelling theyself, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is common. And it'll be like 3-4 of them together. And, say you get jammed up, y'all doing shit illegal, right? Y'all doing something illegal, y'all did something fucked up, y'all get jammed up. Y'all had this pact, or at least you think y'all had this pact, that y'all get jammed up, nobody sing, nobody talk. Meanwhile, they isolate you all in a different room. They put you all in a fucking different room. And little do you know, you the only one that didn't talk. You be the only one that didn't fucking talk. Cause you thought, like I said, you thought this pact was like solid. You thought these my niggas. I know the title. I know the title of this live is called Fanboy, but follow me, cause like I always say, I'm not a fan of nobody. I'm not a fan. Like when you hear me talk about Kobe, I'm not a fan of him. Nah, nah. I look at it. I look at it as I like basketball. That's a master at the basketball, and I'll study a master. I'm a student. I'll say a student. I'll say a student. You know what I'm saying? A fan, nah. Fans, fans blowing the wind. Fans come and go. Fans go with the flow. Fans 1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute, they on you. Next minute they not. Fans don't be having shit going for themselves. Fans sit from a safe place, spectating, pointing fingers, watching you, tallying up your failures. That's what fans do. But yeah, you all sitting in the room and you find out that you the only one that didn't say nothing. You know what I'm saying? There's four of y'all, and boom, the other three didn't say nothing. I mean, you didn't say nothing, the other three spoke. And you only find this out after, of course. You know, this is the game they run on you. They running that game on all of y'all. You know what I'm saying? Well, such and such told. Such and such already told me that you was the, you know, they already told me that that was yours and shit like that. And it's like, and if you know, you a duck, whether you were taught that or not, your true self is gonna come out. Your true self is gonna come the fuck out. Like that's always been my point. Your true self in you talk of it, what comes to mind is fight or flight. You know what I mean? Your true organic self, original setting, your default setting will come out in situations like that, especially situations like that. Like the one that you heard Monday through Friday or whatever, all, you know, every day, y'all, you know, ripping and running, and you hear them say, man, if they do this, man, if somebody run up or whatever, all that, you already know. People already know. You done heard it all. You might have never even seen this nigga in action. You might have never even seen this nigga put up points on the board or nothing. You know, figuratively or literally. But they're popular, boom, I got my hand out with my fingers out there. They're fucking popular, you know. the bitches like them. All the niggas like them, you know. Everybody know this nigga. You get what I'm saying? And there's plenty of people like that. But then there'll be one that he quietly putting the points on the board. He's quietly putting the points on the board. Quietly doing his own thing. Yeah, he be around the others, and the others constantly use him as a trope. What we did, we did. Man, you see what we did? Or they quick to tell everybody. That's normally how everybody find out about shit is. And I ain't just talking about negative shit, people. I'm talking about, you know, anything, man. Anything, but you know, stay with me. Follow me as you know, as when you're young. What is your focus? Is your focus is to be like, oh, I'm trying to get with that one broad. I'm trying to, you know, get that one car, it's still the same, this social media era. They still chasing after the same variables. I'm trying to get those one, you know, pair of shoes and clothes and like it has a ceiling, right? It has a ceiling. And it's all common. That's the conversation that you'll hear. That's the conversation. Who fucked who beat up who, who all that type of conversation. Conversation that has a ceiling. Meaningless shit. But yeah, you'll realize that you're the only one that didn't say nothing. And that's after the fact, after the fact. Because you realize, boom, you're not going home. You're not going home. It's also where I learned that when you get jammed up with motherfuckers, hold on. Yeah, it's also where I learned when you get jammed up with motherfuckers, it's the cliche thing, what you realize who really your homie, who really your partner, or whatever. I had a live the other day called Friend or Foe. You realize who's your friend or foe. But even more so, this is where I learned that yeah, and also the boom, the do your shit by you're lonely, do your shit dolo. Boom, I understand. I knew that. Like I said, I knew that even before that. But at the same time, boom, this is the major one. You get jammed up with a crew or whatever, or another dude or whatever, you gotta realize that you gotta do for self, man. You gotta do for self. Like that snitching shit is a myth. Cause you don't even, look, most of the times you that guy and the other nigga is a fanboy. Follow me. The other nigga is and you might have a whole crew, y'all all doing it to each other. Y'all all doing it to each other. Like low key, you waiting for the nigga's downfall. Low key, you waiting for, or high key, whatever the fuck, you waiting for the nigga's downfall. I mean, the same equation applies to women too. You waiting for the bitch fucking downfall. You waiting for her, to fail. You in it for a whole different reason than the guy, the main motherfucker. You're in it, you're doing it for a whole different reason. The main motherfucker is doing it because it's them. You tagging along. You accomplice, or you you want what the main guy wants. You think of that story of Paid in Full. You think of that story of Paid in Full with Mitch and I forgot the guy that Wood Harris played, his name, Ace, yeah. When you think of that, it's like that's what Ace wanted. Ace Boogie wanted what Mitch had, When that's him though, that's Mitch. Ace was a fanboy to Mitch. And he learned the hard way, right? He learned the fucking hard way. He learned the hard way, which, of course, his motive was to, put food on the table, help out his mom, help out his people, his sister, and, like you understand that. You understand that. But anyway, yeah, I quickly realized that because I've been in other situations where motherfuckers snitched on me, and yeah, I'm woken up out of the damn bed. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't take it hard. I didn't take it hard. I knew they were fanboys. I knew it was a fanboy, if that makes sense. I knew it was a fanboy. That I knew such and such and such and such was a fanboy. Like, they're not really that. They're not really that. And I don't want nobody to get this twisted. This ain't me coming from a space of glorifying fuck shit, because these are stories. These are stories of even when I started learning that. Oh yeah, this ain't even me. This arena, hell no, this ain't me. I gotta remove myself from this type of environment. I gotta remove myself from these type of people. Cause just imagine, transfer that story to good shit. Like, y'all niggas, fast forward, boom, y'all niggas is a whole different breed. Y'all transferred the street shit into something positive. Like, y'all bought a warehouse, bought a building or something like that. And y'all, boom, what's popular? T-shirt business, hoodie businesses, right? People selling sweatsuits and jogger pants and all that shit, right? Okay, boom, y'all all go into business together, and that still applies in that arena as well. You have three others that are wanting to, they're in it for a total different reason. And you'll see it. You'll see it by what they put out, what they produce. You'll see it. What kind of points they putting up on the board. You'll see it. Shit, you probably asking, like, how the hell did y'all even come together? Well, normally the lone wolf needs hands, He need, I always talk about everybody has to play their role. Everybody has to play their role. Like, even the main guy has a main guy that he has to look towards. Like, and they have to stand down and actually play their role when that main guy comes around, or what have you. In the you know what I mean? In the the paradigm, in the, you know what I'm saying? In the order of things. That's just how it has to go. So, you may think like, oh, so having fanboys, having, nothing ass niggas around you is imperative as well. I would say that it's important to highlight them, learn from it, because it'll help you isolate, and fall into what you're supposed to be. Like, you think of that cartoon Pinky in the Brain. You got Pinky sitting up there asking Brain every day, what we gonna do today? And then he gotta tell him the same shit every day. It's like, this nigga reset every day. Cause they don't have an agenda. Their whole agenda is to watch you, tag along on you. But it's even deeper here in this reality, in this world. You'll have such and such around you that they ain't trying to support nothing. They ain't giving you no constructive, criticisms, no input. They eating with you. They on the side, riding passenger side of their best friend's ride, TLC, Scrubs, they doing that. They telling you why you get that, why you do that. Like it's like some crazy ass. While they're doing that, they have nothing. They put nothing on the board. This is the society that you live in. You live in a society where people are not putting up points on the board. They're not even taking the risk. They're playing it safe. So safe that it's hurting them. Ain't that something? That sounds like an oxymoron, right? It is. It is. They play it so safe that it's hurting them. They from the sidelines got so much to say. So much to say. Fake confidence, fake love, fake, it's like, man. And oftentimes you don't even notice it. Why? The ones that don't notice it are the ones that are doing. And you only notice it when you allow that to come around you. You only notice it when you, like, boom, like y'all will get jammed up if you allow them to come around you. That's why I say, in a way, having when you see the fanboy to teach you that, nah, you don't want to be like the fanboy. You don't want the fanboy to fuck around you. You don't want the fangirl around you. The doubter, I talked about it live on that. The can't do, the doubters, you know what I'm saying? They're always the loudest ones. They're always the most popular. Because everybody's like that. Everybody's fucking like that. They know your stats. You don't know theirs. Why? You don't know their stats because they're not putting up shit on the board. They tallying up your failures. You fail. You know what I'm saying? Like I could keep going umpteenth, like you fail, and they on the sideline waiting for they're on the sideline with a marker tallying, with a chalkboard tallying your failures. Because they're from a safe place. They're on a safe place. They don't even step off the porch. They don't even fucking take risks at all. They're and it'd be a whole fucking congregation of them. I use that word very, strategically. Congregation. You know what I'm saying? That means there's a belief system over there. There's a whole. They got the pews, the pastor. They got the deacons, the tithing offerings. You're the tithe. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it's a whole damn movement over there. Anti-you. Anti anybody that's putting up, anti anybody that takes risks. They're anti you. The grid riders, they relying on, they rely on the grid. What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do today, brain? You know what I'm saying? Ass niggas. And it's like, oh man. And like I said in the beginning of this, boom, at one point in my life, yeah, I briefly became that. Not the, what are we gonna, like, I can't say I embodied that whole shit. Hell no. Fuck no. Mine just strictly was I stopped taking risks. Like, I became hindered from being kicked off the team, afraid to fail. Like, basically, I didn't get back at it. No, I didn't get back at it. I continued playing ball, but never again for an organization. Ever again. Because I looked at it even in the angle of course, I took my full accountability of it. At the same time, I'm young, and it made me angry and all that shit. I got emotional over it, most definitely. But I also looked at it like, damn, I thought these was my partners. Like, nigga, on the outside, you're not even one to put up points on the board. Like, you know what I mean? Just running at the runs at the park or the gym and shit. You're not like that. You're not even like that. You wasn't like that even in this game, in these games. You was happy that I fucking tried out, that I finally said, fuck it, let me go get on the squad. But low key, they be wishing for your downfall. Wishing for your downfall. They ain't wanting to see you flourish. And you gotta remove yourself away from that. They be sitting up there literally, oh man, you see that? You know, cheering pom-poms and all that. While while it's something that they benefit from, while it's good or whatever. And then when it's bad, boom, it's crickets. It's, this nigga sorry, all that. And it's like, it's one thing to be joning on each other, but it's another thing to like hinder your brother or your sister's fucking, growth. Like, to me. And I ain't saying I'm putting it on nobody else. No, it was strictly me. Like I said, that was a brief point in my life. And I look back at that like, damn. Like, I actually wanted to go play at the Rucker. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to go play at the Rucker because it didn't stop right there. Boom. Kicked off the squad, and then it transferred into the streets quickly. Charges, boom. Go play at the Rucker, which I know you can go play with a record or whatever the fuck, but it wasn't even on my damn radar no more, if that makes sense. It wasn't even on my agenda no more. My agenda became fuck shit, day in and day out. And I ain't saying I was some big time player or nothing like that. Nah. I ain't even coming from that. Cause I work a job and all that shit. Did all that shit simultaneously. Because, like, once again, the inevitable always comes out, man. The inevitable always comes out, like, as far as revealing that, man, this ain't you. That ain't you. That ain't you. Like, you're not a fanboy. You're not a jump in line ass nigga where we all, what we gonna do today? I always use this analogy of, I've always felt like I've had the fire in me that I'm the type of nigga that'll go across the hill and come back and be like, it's 12 of them niggas. And mind you, everybody else is sitting there with their lanterns and sitting on their horses. I know I just described some KKK scene, but you get what I'm saying? Like, boy, y'all in war or whatever the fuck, and the others is sitting up here, you know what I mean, just shining their boots and shit, vanity, worrying about everything but the goal, worrying about everything but the fucking goal, but want the rewards at the end though. Not ready for battle or none of that. Not ready for, taking the risk. Like, you gotta understand, in order for me to go across the hill and come back, I had to have some kind of, tactics, some kind of strategy. I can't just go over there on some dummy mission, on some crash dummy shit. You come back and you tell them to play, and that's all they was waiting on. And it's okay. Like, see, you need fanboys, man. You need them. It's okay. But it goes deeper because the fanboy don't be putting shit up on the board, though. 9 times out of 10, you gotta think for that nigga. You gotta think for that bitch, you know what I mean? You gotta think for them. And they don't give you that. They don't even understand that concept. They really thinking that they that, you know what I'm saying? You gotta understand what I'm saying. They really thinking that they that. All the while, they can be, you know what I mean? They got somebody around that they can learn from. Because I'm learning from them what not to do, you know what I'm saying? I'm learning to do something just based on seeing somebody do something that I don't that I don't get down with. I'm like, man, that was fucked up. Them, they going with the flow. That's why you run into often people have traits of a solid motherfucker, and then they also have the traits of a fuckboy. They have both of them combined. I can admit that. Not many people can admit these things. This is the society that grooms these things, cultivates this type of character. And it's important for you to unlearn once you realize it, man, oh man. It's important for you to unlearn these things, unlearn these behaviors. I can go deeper. It's important for you to unlearn the ways of this world. When you speak of the Most High, when you speak in the spiritual, angle, standpoint, it's important for you to unlearn a lot of this shit, man, because you'll just be going with the flow. You'll be a fanboy. It's okay to not take risks. It's okay to, and when I say risks, you gotta understand, I'm not just talking about bad shit. I'm not, talking about bad shit because, we're adults. I'm talking about for your family, you know what I'm saying, for yourself, ironically, when you speak of taking risks, it also comes with humility. People always use the word humble and don't align it up with humility. At least the ones that, you get what I'm saying. We live in and let's not pretend that we don't live in a fucking society that just regurgitates slogans and Facebook quotes and shit like that, memes and all that, and don't really implement them, don't really practice them. Let's not pretend that you don't live in a world like that. Like, that's, social media is breeding this shit daily. Where people can portray a whole thing, just look the part, post buku gym pictures, buku muscles, all kind of shit. Buku, you know what I mean? Steak dinners and trips and all that shit. And it only matters because they show it. It doesn't even matter if they can't show it. So ask yourself that, like, so is the nigga really strong or is it, you know what I'm saying? Or is it just to show me that they, you know what I mean? And you know the ones that are really like that. I'm not, speaking of, if anybody gets offended, but I can give two shits. But anyway, what I'm saying is, you have more of the look at, you know, they done cultivated the society to be in the whole mindset of all you got to do is look the part. And if you ask me, that culture comes from them folks, that mediocre shit. You know, it's kind of like, you play sports and you have a cat walk in with the gym bag, the water bottle, the headband, the arm sleeve, the new, you know what I mean? New rock, new ball, all that shit. And it's like, and then he be ass. or be talking shit, airball all day, like that nigga just sit there talking shit. Don't put up nothing though. Don't put up, I can't even judge your palate. You don't have a palate to judge. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's what this society is breeding, that type of shit. Safe place ass niggas. You can't do this. You missed. And it's like, my nigga, you ain't even put up nothing. And they be confident as fuck in that stance. That's the crazy thing. At least that's what it be seeming. Like they're okay with being like that. That shit always has bothered me. Like, bruh, I'd rather fail. I always say I put up 1,000 fucking shots and miss every last one of them. You think I'm not gonna take 1,001? That's the difference between me and you. I'm using, yeah, like I said, in that brief point in my life, I didn't. But shit, I learned from that. I was like, hey, I'm never gonna get in that mindset where I'm afraid to, like, I can transfer it into applying for scholarships, getting promoted, like, taking on a new title, new responsibilities in my career, things like I transferred a lot into life. That what I'm saying. You know, saving money towards a better vehicle instead of always having to pull over and have your jugs of water for your radiator and shit like that. Like, or eating string beans every fucking night because, money is limited and you don't qualify for SNAP. You don't qualify for SNAP. Yeah, yeah. Or you can't get the handouts from the church and all that. You're not an alcoholic. You're not a drug addict. Or, you know what I'm saying? You didn't go to prison and get your teeth fixed. All kind of shit. You could keep going. You could keep going, man. You could keep going. You ain't out here just fucking making bastard kids and shit, and you know, stealing, stealing. What is it? The earned income credit shit. And I only say bastard kids is because you gotta understand the person that is living like that is only gonna transfer their bad habits to the kid. It's like, you know what I'm saying? You might as well be absent. You might as well not even be a factor in his life or her life, you know what I'm saying? You might as well not even be a part of that shit. But yeah, anyway, you I don't want to go down that rabbit hole, but yeah, anyway, you're in a society where, you know, a motherfucker see you put up 1,000 shots and miss all of them, and they like sitting over there getting off on that shit. Pause. They up there, you know what I mean? Meanwhile, all the meanwhile, they can't even do a push up. You know what I mean? It's a whole bunch of factors in this shit. Like, and it's sad. It's actually sad. It'll be coming from your own people. Oh man, it'll come from your own people. I always use the analogy of like, let's compare projects. Like, you got so much to say about which I can take your criticism, but I can't take your criticism when you have nothing for me to even criticize. That's the crazy part to me. But this is where it teaches me, oh, I just have to remove myself from you. And you have a lot of situations where once you do that, you'll have that one, the other variable, the other side of the spectrum, they might even steal your idea, try to backdoor your shit. I've seen that happen plenty of times where it's like, man, that's fucked up. Because they really thought that they were a hand, they really thought that they were a hand in the equation. So when you remove yourself, now they resort to what I always talk about, fear and survival. For anybody that talks about survival, fears, they go hand in hand. Their fear of failure, see, that's the difference between me and you. I don't fear failure. You do. At least I don't let it consume me. That's the difference. But that, they go into the survival mode, the fear mode, and it cultivates this fuck shit, right? It'll cultivate backdooring their own man, you know what I mean? Backdooring their own sister, fucking them over. Oh, because they didn't have nothing to fall on in the first place. They wasn't putting no points on the board in the first place. So let me just sabotage your shit because I take it as they took it hard that you removed yourself. They take it hard that you remove yourself. Because you're the lifeline, you know what I mean? And I know that sounds crazy because all while I call it a lifeline, you're a lifeline even while they're, having so much to say about what you're doing, but don't have shit to gauge them. You can't even gauge them. Like I think of these fat white coaches in the NFL and shit like that. I think of that. In these sports, these old motherfuckers that they're trying to tell you how to do shit that they ain't never even done. That equation always bothered me. Rewind back to what I was saying as far as getting kicked off of the squad. Like I'm listening to a coach that ain't even have half the talent of mine. Which, it's always bothered me. It's like, how can we be led by something that is not even, like he doesn't even take risk. Like, don't be fooled by people's successes in this earth, in this society. I'm talking about the ones that, the dominant society and all that shit. Don't be fooled by that. Like a lot of it is inherited. A lot of it is, and you gotta understand when you think of inheritance, it was stolen, but a lot of it is inherited. A lot of it is pushed through, you gotta think about it. Like they run the education system. They run you know what I mean? They run this and run that. So it's like, if they set the standard, if they set the bar, if your auntie or uncle runs this shit, or your you don't even have to really work for it. You don't really have to get calloused or conditioned. You don't have, like, I just heard this about, on the side note, I just heard this from a influencer, some old white lady. She was speaking on how white folks grew up conditioned to not even look at racism as an issue. Then on the other side of the fence, black folks, we grew up having to be conditioned to look at it as an issue, of course. So the ones that look at it as nothing, you know what I mean? What are they spewing? They're spewing, pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Oh, y'all getting handouts. Like, that sounds crazy. That sounds crazy as fuck. It sounds crazy because it's literally projections. Like, you don't pull yourself up by your bootstraps. You get handouts. You're a fanboy. You're fangirls. My folks, my people is your lifeline. Literally. And the thing about it is it's not even coming from a space of, aha, I'm this and you not. It's not even coming from that spirit at all. The Most High said we are the light. We are to shine. I should not be put underneath a bed. My candle should not be put underneath no fucking bed. Like I shouldn't be dimmed out. I always think about this, like, it's like, man, like, because you can clearly see this in society, man. You can clearly see this, especially in such a time as this. You got the youth scrambling, not knowing what they're going to do. They're watching their mothers and their fathers scramble because what? The rug is being taken smooth out from underneath their feet. And this don't have no color, but you already know, the dominant society, this is definitely happening. But this don't have no color. This is hitting everybody. It's been hitting everybody. Your parents and didn't put up nothing on the board. And how you know is because once it gets stripped, what you gonna do? Once they walk away, what you gonna do? And then it's been, historically known that the people that do, like you steady always say, pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Well, first off, we ain't had no boots, you know what I'm saying? But we had to make them. Ah, man. Oh, shit. Yeah, we had to make them, though. We had to make them, bruh. We ain't getting had the opportunities. Matter of fact, more so than not having the opportunities, you actually have a whole force that's trying to stop the opportunity from even fucking showing itself to you. That's, how lame is that? Like they got a whole campaign of don't let them eat, don't let them read, don't let them, like that's crazy to me. And they still prevail through all that. They still push through all of that. Making boots, making jeans, making doors, doorknobs, washers, washing machines, dryers, cars, planes, computers, internet, heart transplants, all kind. I'm just hitting all different angles. And it don't be coming from a aha, I can do it, you can't. It's not even coming from that. It's on some, hey, this is for the people, man. This is for the people. This is for the greater humanity. Make sure my people taken care of, though. You know what I mean? Make sure my people taken care of because we contribute this. We put this on the board. We put these points on the board, and you know, just make sure my folks is taken care of. And boom, the fanboys and fangirls on the other side, they ain't hold up that. They didn't hold up that end of the bargain. Fuck no. They too engulfed in that I can't do it. So it's like I said in the equation of they'll just backdoor you and take the shit. Leave you homeless on the street while they got corporations in their last names. Crazy shit. And then spew, generation after generation, we built this, we built that, because the narrative gets thinned out as time goes. You know what I'm saying? The narrative fades away as time goes. The story just gets twisted. But you know who know the story though? You know who sees all this, man? Who sees all this? And I'm gonna do another live on this. You know who sees it all, man. And he gonna make sure he take care of his people, man. And I see it. It's happening. We're in the time right now. He making sure he taking care of his people, man. He always look. He never was absent. Oh man, he never was absent. What he say, he never will leave you nor forsake you. Yeah, that's my favorite scripture. Anybody that know me, yeah, for sure. Hebrews, yeah, for sure. Like that's just something that I stood on in the fire, stood on through the muck and the mire. You know what I'm saying? Like that's something that brought me through. Keyword through. But yeah, that's who sees all this. You know what I mean? And he ain't allowing that to, no matter how comfortable motherfuckers think, no matter how much the autopilot they done ran on for generations. Thinking that shit ain't gonna crumble. Little screws and kinks ain't gonna happen in they mechanisms, in they machine. They thought this shit was well oiled, which it was. I'll never deny that. I'll never deny that. That shit is well oiled. But one thing that I figured out is that you may have created a well oiled machine, but it was based off of trial and error. Meaning go back to that survival and fear equation. So that means without you stripping yourself of morals and all that, you're assed out. So you had to go the way of, like I said, that survival and fear equation breeds out your killers, your savages. Seriously. They'll do anything. They'll rob their mother, you know what I mean, their grandmother, just to put food on the board, food on the table. Crazy shit. That's why I say strip themselves of morals. They actually look at God as obsolete. I ain't even gonna lie to you. They look at God as obsolete. They look at there ain't no God. They'll constantly tell you, you know what I mean, John 3:16s and shit like that. They'll constantly regurgitate all that though. Man, have you noticed that, man? Have you noticed this shit? It disappoints me, man. It disappoints me. I wasn't in a hurry to become an adult when I was little, because my life was already moving faster than it should have been anyway. Just growing up in the city, you know, with my single mother. And my mother put up points on the board, man. Not a lot of niggas can say that shit. These is facts. A lot of, you know what I mean? I got aunts that are the same way. My aunts put up points on the board. While the naysayers, while the fucks is looking from the sideline talking down on their decisions and, you know, they fuck ups and shit like that. And it's like, instead of being that, why don't you slide in and, you know, help them? No, you ain't even putting points on the board. You over there ass cheeks spread wide open just to put points on the board. You over there compromising. You forfeiting your whole shit and tagging along with a whole entity that don't give a fuck about you, your sisters, your brothers, nothing. People realize that it becomes easier. You see what I mean? Like they take the easy route of, you know, like when you think of that can't beat them, join them shit, right? They take the easy route of, let me just, if you know what I mean? Like everybody else do, like, or boom, they, like all these different slogans and shit, it be having, they be misnomers, right? They be having different meanings and shit for different, depending on who the fuck you talking to. You can't beat them, join them. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And it's like, whoa. The whole shit you're doing is broken over there though. But it's only working, like I said, it's a well-oiled machine because you designed it to be like that. You're okay with it being like that. At the expense of, you know what I'm saying? I just so happen to be born into a lineage on this earth that is the you know what I'm saying? I'm the trade off. I'm the dollar. I'm the, you know what I'm saying? I just so happen to be born into that type of fucking equation. I didn't always know that. I'm like, oh shit. I'm the trade off, man. Then a lot of my people don't even know they the trade off. They go join them niggas. They working against you. They running on the same script as them, going against you, using you as a trade off. Fanboys and fangirls. They sitting right there with a bucket, waiting for your you know what I mean, your scraps, waiting for the rewards. Also waiting with a knife to stab you, waiting with the, you know, the bullhorn to fucking ridicule you, criticize you, all while they're not putting shit up on the board. That's horrible. It makes me think of this whole push for reparations, which is dead. I can't even lie on that, which is dead. It's not dead within me. I wish I'd have known this when I was younger. I know this would have been something that I'm saying to a teacher. Cause I don't even, ain't that something? Ain't that something? I wish I had my old textbooks, but I don't even remember any teacher ever speaking of reparations, ever. was saying as far as that, the reparations, like you could see that it's dead. The movement is dead. Within my people, and it's a righteous cause, man. It ain't no begging. It ain't no handout. You know what I'm saying? This is a debt owed. Imagine going to work and you ain't been paid. A lot of people don't even know about the labor board. I was taught that, and that changed the game for me. I make them motherfuckers cut the check that same day. You do me wrong, boom, they cutting the check the same day. They don't want that. They don't want that cloud over them. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just sad that you live in a society with that type of equation, though, right? To me. But anyway, like I said, with the fight for reparations, it's dead because not many people are. It's kind of like a trend, right? Somebody will do it. A few will do it, and motherfuckers is on the sideline like, look at this goofy ass nigga, or look at this goofy ass bitch, or whatever. And then before you know it, boom, time passes, more and more it snowballs into, you know what I'm saying, more people are doing it, and now the same one that was saying, look at this goofy ass nigga, look at this goofy ass bitch, is doing it now. Like, which one are you in that equation? Which one are you? Are you the one that you take the risk, fucking what everybody talking about, or are you the one that, all right, it's safe. Okay, it's safe, guys, and then you jump in.